And now, please welcome student speaker Ruohao Chen from the Department of Organization and Leadership.
President Bailey, Secretary Cardona, family and friends, and TC class of 2023. Good evening. I'm Ruohao Chen from Adult Learning and Leadership. It's my great honor to give a graduation speech for the students of 2023. And I'm also very thrilled to have my mom here, who flew in several days ago. Mom. So, Teachers College and China have a much older and longer relationship than many of us know. 110 years ago, a young Chinese student came to study at Teachers College. He was John Dewey and Paul Moreau's student, and returned to China with their educational beliefs. Though China was poor at that time, he imagined it as prosperous, thriving through modern education. He spread the idea of life education, in specific, education of life, education by life, and education for life, and carried out these ideas in a rural school near Nanjing. His efforts and examples greatly advanced modern Chinese education. This TC graduate, Tao Xingzhi, This TC graduate, Tao Xingzhi, was later called the people's educator in China. His story marks the century-long connection between Teachers College and China. Inspired by Tao Xingzhi and my undergraduate professor, Dr. Nicholson, I came to Teachers College to study adult learning and leadership after 6 years as a high school teacher at Guangzhou Zhixing High School. Actually, today I have one of my undergraduate professors and one of my former students here in the audience. Thank you so much. So in the 7 years at TC, I have met so many beautiful human beings and collected so many precious stories. 3 TC people in particular have shown me the power of kindness. Rocky Swartz was my boss when I was working part-time as a delivery boy at the Business Service Center. Yeah. Maybe many of you here know Rocky Swartz. So Rocky is a big-hearted and genuinely kind person who treats everyone fairly. He told me a story once. After his return to the US from Africa for the Peace Corps, the Liberian Civil War broke out. Rocky helped his students and friends escape the war, including a Liberian family of 7 who came to the US without a place to live. It was difficult for a family of 7. However, Rocky shared his small apartment with this family of 7 for 2 years. It wasn't easy, and it touched me. And now the kids from this family have graduated in universities in the US. Yeah. Then there's TC security officer, Dr. Dennis Chambers. I guess many of you have met Dr. Dennis Chambers. Many people who know Dr. Dennis Chambers are impressed by his knowledge and wisdom, but wonder why he stays on as a security officer after earning his doctoral degree from TC. I had the same question. He told me, a real leader doesn't have to be appointed in that position. Yeah. Effective leadership, he states, can be achieved through navigating and negotiating relationships. People see Dr. Dennis Chambers as a security officer, but they don't realize that he exercised his leadership by fostering all types of relationships in and outside the college, as an entrepreneur, a consultant, and a community activist for youth development. He even runs a martial arts school in Harlem to help kids grow physically and psychologically. Finally, I want to mention my dear mentor and advisor, Professor Victoria Masick, an untiring professor for students and adult learning educators. Professor Masick uses her expertise and kindness to guide students' growth and to build a caring and collaborative learning environment. Week in and week out, she has been doing this for decades. Yes, that's true, right? So, my academic program has directed me into a qualified adult learning researcher. But the exemplary work and kindness of faculties like Professor Masick and her colleagues, and staff like Rocky Swartz and Dennis Chambers have inspired me to become a humanistic as well as a kind-hearted person, a kind-hearted educator. Thank you so much for being role models for me and all of us. Thank you so much. Yeah. So because of their influence, over the past 7 years, I have assisted 7 professors in over 30 courses. And during COVID-19, I also tried to organize 2 TC concerts to bring people comfort. And I also tried to raise funds, which was nearly $30,000 to buy PPE for the Columbia Medical Center. And I also built an educational platform, Education for Growth, where more than 6,000 educators and practitioners came to exchange their ideas on education. So just as Dr. Amra Shabik El Rakes, Associate Professor of Practice in Adult Learning and Leadership, shared with me, maybe we can't change the world overnight, but we can start small by helping students around us one by one. So inspired by Tao Xingzhi and all the remarkable people I have met at TC, this is the message I have for you, class of 2023. Start small, but dream big, and begin with kindness. The world out there needs us, the humanistic and the kind and caring educators. Finally, I want to end up my speech with the words from John Lennon's Imagine. You may say I'm a dreamer. I guess many of you know that song, and I'm going to sing it out. And I would like to invite you to join if you can sing it, okay? You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Thank you so much. Happy graduation.